Starting. Hey everyone, welcome to So What Do You Know About Business, our very first recording. I'm so excited to do this. My name is Erin Smith and I'm the host, and I've brought together 4 other amazing entrepreneurs to really share what we learn every week in business, because if you are involved in a business at all, every second is a learning experience. So to sum it up in a week will be extremely interesting. So I'd like for everybody to introduce themselves and let us know. And it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and it happens to be here in Texas. So drinks are not required, but they're very much recommended. So we would love for you to sit back and have a cocktail with us while we are just talking business over these next 45 minutes. So Andrea, I see you first in my screen, so I will let you introduce yourself.
Excellent. My name is Andrea Trevelyan. I blog over at takeasmartstep.com, and I am a small business financial coach and have been self-employed in one form or another for 12 years now. And I too am in Texas where it's 5 o'clock, and I am drinking a lovely glass of Pinot Grigio. It actually might be a double glass. I'll just go with that.
No judgment. No judgment. Right, Chandra, I have you next on my...
Hello all, I am Chandra Ockberger here in Austin, Texas, and it's 5 o'clock here. I'll tell you my drink at the end. I am a serial entrepreneur, and I have Moxie Moguls and a photographer currently going. I am double-fisted. I have coffee and champagne.
Nice combo.
Downer and upper all at once. I like it.
Keep you balanced.
Just trying to get this week.
All right, Megan, I've got you next.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Megan Flatt. I'm over at meganflatt.com. I am a business consultant and a time management strategist for busy moms who want to launch and grow their dream businesses. And I'm in California, sunny today. It's supposed to rain tomorrow just in time for trick-or-treating. So it's only about 3 o'clock here, and I have a cold. So I've got some tangerine tea going on, but I guarantee I'll be switching to some heavier medication later on.
Awesome. And Taylor, how about you?
Hello, I am Taylor. I'm also in that 3 o'clock time zone with Megan, and I still need to be productive, so I'm drinking a nice glass of alkaline water. And I have some blood sugar issues, so I'll probably be eating during this happy hour. And I am actually an extreme side hustler, so I still have a day job, but I do freelance writing and consulting and marketing on the side.
Awesome. And I am, as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm Erin Smith. I own a company called the Starters Club. Basically, I'm all about helping people with the start of their business and growing it organically. And I am Texas representing with some Shiner.
Woohoo!
Not because I'm a huge fan of it, just because it was the only beer in there, and I fear opening a bottle of wine will just open up a can of worms I do not need right now, so I'm being good. Awesome. So everybody, let's start with your what did you learn about business? I'll go in the same line just because you're on my screen. So Andrea, what was your big learn this week?
You know, I don't think it was necessarily anything new that I learned, but it was information that no matter how long you're in business, no matter what business you have, it's never done. Like I have a tendency to kind of get stuck in this trap of, okay, I'm going to get my website updated. And then it's done, but then it might be done for maybe a day, and then there's something else has to change, or, Google changes an SEO trick, or, you change direction. It's never done. It's this continual building in progress. And I actually posted a quote today on Instagram from Reid Hoffman from LinkedIn that says, entrepreneurship is running off a cliff and building the plane on the way down. And I think what I learned is that you just got to keep that in mind, or you're gonna go crazy. Because I just kept saying, I got to do this, and it kind of hit me. Well, if I finish it, it's still not done. So how about I go have a glass of wine and take a break, because it's just not ever gonna be done.
So what's next for you? What are you working on now?
Right now, I am working on, I've shifted my business to really helping small business owners. I used to kind of help everybody finance oriented. And so what I've been working on is kind of shifting the copy and putting out some new offerings that are really uber specific to business owners. So it's just been going through and updating the copy and updating the social media sites and updating all that fun stuff, while at the same time actually running, the business and working with clients and blogging and all that fun stuff.
No, that's it's never. I think one of the most frustrating things as an entrepreneur is just it's like being in sales, right? You win a big deal, and then it's like, okay, what's next? Because
well, and it's the same too for like just being a mom and a wife and having a house. So it's like you just have this continual sense of never being done with anything. It's like your business is continually evolving. The house is always dirty. The kids always need something. And so it's really a matter of learning to live with being okay that it's not all done. And it's never going to be. You will die with a to-do list. There you go. Quote of the night. You're going to die with a to-do list. So give it up.
That's a
Here.
Yeah. quote fire. Well, and being realistic about that, I think, is so important too. I'm kind of finding that too. Just knowing that, you're not just done when you get through this next project. It's not done, or there's the next thing on the horizon.
You can take mini breaks, celebrate the end of each one, but then no, you're still going to keep going.
Well, and I think it's hard because we think of everything. We just think of so much in life linear, and I've discussed this many times with many people, but none of it is. Like, none of it at all is linear, right? So there's not. You're like, okay, I'm going to launch. Launch is just the beginning. I'm going to have a kid. It's just the beginning. I'm gonna have like all this stuff. It's just that you buy a house. It's just the beginning, and you think that's the goal, right? I want this, and that's the end goal, and it's the spiral. I call it the spiral of life. The funnel within the funnel within the funnel. It's just all down and
journey.
Up. Yeah, it's the journey. Yeah. Very cool.
It's definitely a process all the time, and I think you're at different points in that same process. Like how everyone always says, it's about the journey and not the destination. It's just getting through, embracing that moment in your process. But yeah, definitely it is a continual circle.
Yeah.
no, I thought I was still there. Okay, awesome. I thought I lost.
Technology issues never ending.
Never end, exactly.
It's like Google's a love and a curse. It's like, God, I love you, but. All right, awesome. Well, all right, Chandra, what about you? What was your big learn this week?
Big learn. There was a great post by ProBlogger. I don't know if it was this week or last, but it was just social media etiquette for business, and it's just this huge infographic and a lot of great tips for all levels of business makers. But I think tagging people in your posts, even if they're personal posts, like last week I did a quote by Elizabeth Gilbert, and she said thanks. She was like, hey, she commented on my, thing, and she has thousands and thousands of, you never know. And so always give credit where credit is due. And it's not even just the please and thank you of it. It's just, I'm more apt to repost something where it has somebody else, where'd you get that from? Where'd you hear it? It was via, and it doesn't matter whether the person has a gajillion followers or not. It's just these tiers of appreciation, I guess. I don't know what you would call it, but you just put it out there, and it's just then that person is more willing to basically scratch your back, right? Or just say, hey, thanks for posting that, right? And it could be somebody as popular as Elizabeth Gilbert, who was just on Oprah, and I was just like, holy cow, what? So it was just an interesting, I mean, I always know, say my please and thank yous, but just a reminder that and then I had 2 people that I sent links and emails to and didn't accredit me at all, and that's totally fine. It is, but like I'm not going to share their sharing that, right? Like it doesn't exponentially build where I have a bigger audience than they do, so I would just be like, hey, check out so and so. This is a great TED Talk. This is a great whatever. Not so much, that I want the credit. It's just like it just helps everybody out, and you build on it. So.
Well, and I think that also goes to respecting other people's thoughts and ideas. Like, if they don't acknowledge that that's where they directly got it, like they heard you say it, share it, it's common courtesy and in some form stealing if you don't credit it back.
Yeah, I mean, and there are limits, right? I mean, because we all hear, like, everything builds on something else, and sometimes you don't even know. And, we could spend, like, eons, like, every quote we heard. I mean, it's just like there are no new ideas, right? It's just everything's just built on one another. But, yeah, and not so much, like, the plagiarism part of it. Like, if it was totally, like, a quote that I did, like, hey, what up? This is crap. Like, like, my Sean Burger. Like, this is, I mean, I just think, I think people, the simple things we forget about when we're in business because we don't know. A lot of times people don't even know when they're starting out whether to put your name with it or not. And it's just like, please share my stuff. That's why almost everything I share is public. I mean, I build a personal brand, but it's very specific on what I post with family and stuff. And especially on Facebook, I think a lot of people just getting into business don't know. They think like you're invading somebody's privacy, and I'm like, no, I want as many eyes as possible on everything. So.
Well, it's really interesting you bring that up because I didn't know if it was annoying to the person if I kept tagging them, not kept tagging them. I get a quote, but especially when it comes to a podcast episode, I've always wondered the line because if I'll put out a podcast 5 times. Do I keep tagging that person? Is one enough? If I bring up the content, do I tag them then? So I've always wondered what that line was of when is too much, when is it appropriate, all of that.
I would say one and done, right? I mean, because you don't know where their audience. Different people have their audiences in different places, and I'd be weary about actually tagging somebody like in a picture because that comes up on their screen. But like just mentioning a name or I was with this person, or even if it's just in a comment, right? Like even if you go into the comment and be like, hey, check it out, we're up, right? So that everybody that comments on that person doesn't get all of your engagement as well. So even if it's not in the initial post, unless it is a picture or a quote that's from someone, if it's in the comments, they still see that they were there, but they don't get all the the reciprocal from it.
I did not realize that.
It's definitely different for each social media channel because each channel is like its own nation, and you have to be speaking the language of that country. So in terms of Facebook, yes, it's annoying to get inundated with stuff just from other people, but like with Twitter, I think as many times as possible that you can cite someone or credit someone. I feel like it's really similar to crediting a photographer for a photo. It's like you want, like this person said this, I wonder what other stuff they have to say. I know personally when I had my podcast for a little bit, I had Andrew Davis on. He's a content marketer, and every time I put a quote and his name, I tagged him, he was always apt to share it and retweet it really quickly. So he was great with that. I think Twitter's great for the not constant, but I don't know, just like that tag. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like the continuous tag, because Twitter has such a short lifespan that I think it's easier to do that on there.
I would totally agree with that.
Yeah, I think the internet in general moves so fast that even when it comes, even shifting when it comes to our own marketing and what we're doing, I think the internet just moves so fast. We might feel like we're bombarding our audience or bombarding our followers with things, but really you're not seeing everything in your Facebook feed the first time. You're not on Twitter all the time. You're not seeing. So I think, especially when it comes to showing appreciation and gratitude and thanking someone for doing something for you, you probably can't really do it too much.
Yeah.
Very good points. Awesome. See, I'm learning something already. God, we're only 18 minutes in. Awesome. All right, Megan. Yeah, I know. It's like, oh God, I did not know that. I've always been hesitant. So, Megan, you're next.
Yeah, so I was thinking about, what I learned, and we got to chat a little bit last week, and I mentioned to all of you guys that I had just launched a new service, and that I had just worked really hard, and I talked about how hard business is, how I really hustled to sell this program, and I was thinking about it, and hustling has kind of like a negative connotation, but just the fact that I worked really hard to develop some personal connections with people and really just kind of invite them to join my program. And so this week has been kind of the fallout from that, as far as like, I'm kind of worn out. I've developed this cold. I got my 3-year-old's cold. And so it's really got me thinking just about self-care. And I know that's kind of cliche to think about, but really piggybacking off what Andrea said, where probably back in September, I said to my husband, I had a big event coming up, and I said to my husband, like, okay, I've got to just get through the next 2 weeks, and then things are going to calm down. And then, we got through that event, and then I had a bachelorette party that, that I was co-hosting, and a wedding shower that I was co-hosting. So it's like, okay, I just got to get through this weekend, and then things will calm down. And then, okay, I got to just get through my launch, and things will calm down. And things kind of don't ever calm down. And so I think it's kind of like what Andrew was saying. I think it's that part of kind of accepting, because I think we kind of set ourselves up for, not for failure, but we just kind of set our expectations, like we think that there's going to be, oh, I just got to get this one thing done, and then things will calm down. Like, they're not, unless you really plan it to. And some newsletter that I got this week talked about how it was a flex week, and how she didn't plan any client work, or she didn't plan anything for that week, so she could have some time to, catch up and do different things and not work. And I just thought, like, wow, like, that's such a great idea. And even for me, even just, I try to have like one day a week where I don't have anything scheduled. And I've really gotten away from that over the last couple of months, because I keep saying, oh, I'm working hard right now, but then it'll calm down. Oh, I'm working hard right now, but then it will calm down. And it just was a good reminder this week, getting sick and having computer issues. I'm having computer issues right now. Like, those are always like those reminders that tell you to like take a step back and kind of regroup. And, just looking at my calendar moving forward, I want to have those blocks of time where I have some downtime. So even if it's, because waiting for it just to happen in your schedule doesn't happen. You have to plan it in. So that's, and talking about things that we learn over and over and over again, like, that is not a new thing that I've learned, but I'm relearning it this week. Like, plan some time to just recover and catch up on things, and go get a pedicure, and have a computer malfunction, those things. Drink wine with friends. So that's what I've learned this week is, you have to be really conscientious about, I'm so all about strategic business planning, but that strategic business planning has to include some strategic downtime too.
Just like scheduling appointments, or like business work tasks, you have to schedule nothing in your calendar too. I was talking to Greg Hickman, and he's like, I literally schedule like time for nothing, like do nothing. To catch up on that.
And that's when all your good ideas come too, when you have that downtime.
Well, I'm just curious, are any of you good at this? Because this is my biggest downfall. I will work till 3 a.m. every day until I'm dead. I mean, or until I get really sick. So are any of you good at this? Like, do any of you do this?
I do, actually. And I had to actually learn it the hard way, because when my son was born, I was owner and president of an event planning company, and I had some serious complications, and then he was sick, and so I learned then that you have to take care of yourself, or it just doesn't work. And I was doing that. I was staying up till 3, and then he would wake up, and then he had a doctor's appointment, and, you know, brides are calling me, and it was just too much. And so what I really learned is, you know, if you're going to do good quality work, you need a full night's sleep and you need you time, period. And the rest will come. And I think, because I've analyzed this over the years, just kind of watching everybody, you know, our media tells business owners you have to be this super entrepreneur that works 80 hours a week and, you know, is, you know, caffeine IV. But it doesn't have to be that way. You know, you can grow a business. It doesn't have to grow at 80% a year. It can be a nice, lovely 10% a year and take care of yourself. And one thing I do is every single day, from the time my son goes to school until 10 a.m., zero work is allowed. Nothing. That is when I work out. That's when I get a regular shower in. That's when I go for coffee, whatever. That is my dedicated time, and if I'm still awake at 11 o'clock, I shut everything down, go climb in bed, I'm done. I'm not allowed to stay up. And those are my rules, and I live by those rules, and it helps. So you kind of have to figure out what your rule is, and then set the rule and go.
See, I feel like,
Exactly.
and that's kind of what my point is. I feel like I set boundaries for myself. Like I had some similar experiences, and for me, I can't even stay up till 11. For me, it's like 9. You know, but setting those boundaries that I wasn't going to work. That I wasn't going to work after my kids went to bed. That I was, you know, and then you have something comes up. Then you have something that comes up, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm working on this thing, this one event, so I need to put in a little extra work right now for this project. And that's okay. I'm going to stay up late tonight to finish this project. But when it's done, then I'm going to go back to my boundaries. And what I've found is that was September, and here we are at the end of October, and like one thing is kind of rolled into the next. And it's like you have to press that reset button sometimes too. Like, oh, wait a minute. I was supposed to be, you know, I was supposed to be not working after my kids go to bed, or I was supposed to be, you know, whatever, taking some time off on the weekends. And just sometimes you have to like step back and yeah, sometimes it takes getting sick, or it takes your computer malfunctioning for you to just be like, all right, you know what, putting everything away today.
I also think meeting yourself where you are. Like, I don't have any of that anymore, right? My kids used to go away, and now they're home all the time, right? So like, everyone in my family is home. My husband works from home. Like, my entire house is full all the time. So if I don't do it while they're, I mean, it does come down to it. Like, and this is something that's been like on me like a ton of bricks in this week in particular, because it's just like something's got to give, right? And that's the way with anything. I mean, so I'm lucky that I've never needed a lot of sleep. It's just not been my thing. But I also am unlucky that I have a son who wakes up at 4:30 in the morning every morning. Like, that's just what he wakes up for 5 years, right? And that is the way it is. So like I have to just basically pick a day a week where I'm just going to pull an all-nighter so that I can get something done, or just put it all aside. And I have to come to this conclusion, like, am I going to put it all aside and just say, all right, this is where I am right now. We're homeschooling. We are doing this. These people are obviously the most important thing in my life, but where does that fit in me, right? Like, nowhere in this plan is personal time. So it's very hard to even like hear this, and I was almost in tears right now, just because it's just like, it's meeting yourself where you are, right? I mean, just being like, okay, this is where I am, and having realistic expectations. A great thing about being a high expectation person is that we get a lot of stuff done and we do great things, but a really bad part of that is that we disappoint ourselves all the time, right?
Amen.
So and something's got to give. I mean, I know something's got to give, and I feel myself coming down with something, and like, it's just like, okay, what is it going to be? Am I going to be completely useless to my entire family? And not, you know, like, nothing is going to grow if I keep up at the pace. So it's hitting that wall and taking a step back, but, you know, always something has to give. And you can't, you know, before I had kids, like, I could do that. I could work, you know, for 18 hours in a day and go to school full time and do that, and it's just like, and I get kind of frustrated sometimes seeing all these business tips and things from younger people. And I'm just like, hell yeah, if I was in my 20s, I mean, that's what I did when I was in my 20s, right? Like,
I was gonna say we're all getting older. That doesn't help.
no, that doesn't. But you know, I
Just
love it. I
wait.
mean, I just turned 40, and I mean, I absolutely love it. I think every birthday is an absolute gift, and it's just another day to just start over, right? And kick the gooey out of life. But I guess meeting yourself where you are and being realistic about
Absolutely.
the expectations you set for yourself, and afford yourself grace and afford yourself some time. And I really, I mean, just listening to you guys, I'm just like, I just have to do it, right? I mean, it's just like starting. The hardest part of starting is starting.
Totally.
So just follow through. So
Amen.
No, I do not have what your plate is, Chandra, but I don't know how to stop. It's my problem, and I'm with you with the high expectations, because if I make 10,000 on a launch, I should have made 20. I should have made 30. I should have made it's never enough, and I know it can be great, but it can kill you too, you know?
Yeah.
literally, like it
Yeah.
can kill you. Like, so yeah,
Totally.
finding it. When you guys find the secret of turning that key at least
Well,
down a little bit, that would be cool.
and the thing is too, I think also along that lines of like setting realistic expectations, also like self-care doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be a complete shutdown, or it doesn't have to be, okay, I'm not going to work for the next week or whatever it is. It can be like, hey, I'm going to take 5 extra minutes in the shower, or I'm going to, close my laptop 20 minutes early before I go pick my kids up from school and just catch an episode of Orange is the New Black. Like, it also doesn't have to be this like monumental thing where all of a sudden you're carving out all this time. You can start small too. And sometimes I forget that too. It's like, it's kind of like that all or nothing mentality. It's like, oh, well, if I'm not, working out 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, then I'm not taking care of myself. No, there's other ways to do it too.
Totally.
I'm a big
Absolutely.
proponent of that as well. It's just like take 15 minutes and read for a little bit, and read something that's nonfiction, and take your brain off of business for a second. The past couple of years, I've gone through a lot of like cognitive reconditioning, because I feel like a lot of us have that tendency where the type A, overachievers, perfectionists, at least that's what I'm kind of understanding from talking with all of you as of late, and at least that's how I speak for myself. But it's not a bad thing. It's just it gets to that point where it's like everything in moderation. Like, even too much of a good thing is a bad thing. So even I try at least 15 minutes just to and in between working, I'll work for like an hour and take a little break. Science says it's more productive anyway. So excuse me. I'm gonna go with the science on that.
All right. Well, with that, Taylor, you are up. So what did you learn this week?
All right. So, I guess maybe it's kind of a lot like Andrea's situation, how she knew it, but it was reconfirmed. And the thing that I was wanting to talk about was just nurturing relationships. And I've been a connector, and I love meeting people, connecting with people, but really fostering relationships long term. I'm really experiencing more of the benefits than I have before. And it's kind of cool. It's like a lot of things are, like, a lot of people have asked me to join in on some of their projects as of late, like all at once, after this period of trying to like redirect myself and rebuild like what I'm doing and where I'm going. So it was just cool kind of having that realization of like, you really just need to, even if it's just a hi or how are you, like just keep the relationship going, because you don't know what they'll reach out and ask you for. So
Awesome. So what did you do differently to foster relationships?
that was my big learn / confirmation. I'm sorry, what was that?
No, I said, what did you do differently this time around instead of just meeting somebody and being like, peace, it was great seeing you, but what did you do differently?
Well, it's funny because I've known these people for over a year, and like I had initially worked on some projects with them, but they're coming back. Like, the plant is growing more, like it's being watered, and they saw the value in what I did for them, and they wanted my help again. And I've always been open to supporting them throughout their journey, and even when they were kind of rebranding or just getting their vision on straight, I was still there wanting to have a conversation. And that's what's made the difference. It's just you have to, it's not that one thing, it's the marathon. It's you're jogging along with that person the whole way, and you're like, no, like, I'm here if you need help, like if you need water, like let me know. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it really kind of goes back to what Chandra was saying too, just about like having those connections and facilitating and that appreciation, and that you're there to help someone else out and they're there to help you out, and building those relationships.
And then also like the building blocks, right? I mean, as far as like you follow through, always following through with the relationship side of things, like when you meet someone, and I'm terrible. I am absolutely terrible at the follow through with I get a business card, like have a really, really great time with somebody at a conference or do it, and I kind of avoid, not kind of, I went to 2 conferences this year. One of them was pretty big and one was small, but I was just like, I'm not going to big conferences anymore because I do foster decent relationships, and then it's just like, meh, I have the stack of business cards and then don't follow through, or and you never know, like and I have some great relationships that I have, but like that all came from follow up, right? Where it's just like, hey, how you doing, or posting somebody's name, or following up, seeing them on Instagram or somewhere else where it's a little more lax and not just business, but it's just all intertwines. It's cool.
Actually, and here, okay, handy tip for everybody. What I do is I go conferences, networking events, whatever. I take those business cards, connect on LinkedIn, because if you go to like your LinkedIn connections page, it will tell you the last time you had an activity with them. Oh. And so I'll go through and be like, oh, I haven't pinged that person in 2 months. And so I'll send them a note in LinkedIn, and it will go directly to their inbox on LinkedIn and their email, and LinkedIn will record that you did that. So the next time you can go in, it'll show up that you talked to them a week ago. And so sometimes I'll go through and go, oh, it's been 2 months since I've talked to Bobby Sue. I should call Bobby Sue. I should email her and see if she needs anything. Hey, how are things going? How's business? Just checking in.
You know someone named Bobby Sue?
I don't. But
we are in Texas. It wouldn't surprise me.
So I was just like, what?
That's a really good tip, though, Andrea, without having to use like software, because there is, software like follow-up email software out there too. The name escapes me right now, but I like that too. Just we're all on social media. That's a really good place to keep track.
Well, and I'd always heard about the other softwares that are like it will ping you, but I'm like, you know what? I'm already connecting on LinkedIn. Why don't I just use it?
Yeah.
Simplify.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
And I've noticed too, like Chandra was saying, you can have these stacks of business cards and maybe you had a really awesome connection with someone, but I've learned too, like with anything, you can only juggle so much, and just like choosing those ones that you not only connected with but share values with, and like same interests, like that whole like-mindedness needs to be applied to those business cards too, and just like selecting like your top priority of people that you think you're going to connect with best. That's what I've done too.
Very good points.
Abby with.
Oh, we lost Chandra.
Oh, no.
Hopefully she comes back.
She'll be back.
She's muted. Okay. So my big learn was Facebook ads. Chandra's back. Yay. So Facebook ads, this is really interesting. I've been playing with Facebook ads now for a while. And I have this starters challenge where I'm encouraging people to start their own businesses. So I thought I'd get on a more emotional basis with my ad and hit up work-from-home moms, one specifically, and stay-at-home moms, one specifically, and just said, for the work-at-home moms, being a mom doesn't mean, a working mom doesn't mean you have to be gone all day. Let me show you. Have you ever wanted to build a business? Let me show you exactly how to do it and take the challenge. And then for my work-at-home moms, I had put, Whether you want to make $1,000 a month or 6 figures a year, join this challenge. I'll show you how to build a business from scratch. So this was pretty similar to another ad I had done, not specified directly towards moms. They frickin' nailed me on it and said that it's to get rich quick and multi-level marketing. And I'm like, okay, I'm saying sort of it. First of all, I'm not that different. And here's what really makes my blood boil about this. Is like I'm rewording this because I'm reading it. I'm like, I'm saying build a business. I'm saying let me, and if you look, like I'll show you how to build a website, all this stuff. But I just had one in my feed say, learn how I made $300,000 in 2 weeks. And I'm like, learn my plan of how I made $300,000 off this launch in 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay, this isn't get rich quick. Like I'm the most anti get rich quick person out there because I do not believe in get rich quick. So I'm like all upset about this. But it's like, that's not get rich quick, but yet I say make, whatever your income that you want to have, it's totally up to you to make that. But yeah, so they're telling me that it won't be approved. So I keep like messing with my ad to try to get it approved by Facebook. But I'm like, you guys are jerks because if you compare it to the one you've been running for 2 weeks, there's not much difference. It just happens to be geared towards moms. But they're saying I'm trying get rich quick schemes.
Because there's so many MLMs out there and they drive me up the wall.
Amen.
It is the pits for women in particular. It's a serious. I actually think it's like an epidemic type thing for business, and it drives me nuts. And it's like, okay, if you're out there and you know what, and that's what you want to do, your first step. But there are other ways, and then it just kind of ruins it for all of us who are just really trying to, a rising tide lifts all ships, right? That's JFK. Gotta
give credit.
It's so true, and then it's just such the pits for people who are really trying to like help other people out, and also like spend money on Facebook. Like, I'm all about this platform where it's like it's Facebook. I don't expect it to be free for my post to get out there, but I do expect not like this lowest common denominator rules, right? Where you're just like, okay, I'm talking to women, so therefore I must be totally spammy or scammy or whatever. It's just like, look at the situation for what it is, and then you make your judgment. But like, I mean, I know there's tons of people out there, but how do you appeal to women and let them know, look, you do not have to spend you can spend that $600 that you're buying in to sell someone else's product. Exactly. And just build your own thing. Even if you don't want to make anything, you can totally build a business on, you have a cell phone, you have internet, you can do it. That's it. Like, and it sounds spammy, but it's not. And what's spammy is, I got invited out to dinner like a couple months ago, and I was totally duped. And at the end, not dinner, coffee. And I thought I was just going to help this woman out just because out of the goodness of my heart, she seemed like she needed help. And then she was just like, oh, I have these like, what do you call it? Conflict-free diamonds. I was like, they're CZs, okay? Like, no, I'm not going to get passionate. I'm not going to sell anything for you. Like, if I want to start a business, I start it on my own. And it's just like, it's just the worst form of business because it's trying to like trick people into doing business. I have very strong feelings about MLMs.
Andrea loves MLMs, actually.
Now, I do think they are a valid approach to business if the person approaches it from the right point, and that would be from building a team. You are a sales manager. You're not selling crap to get rich. Yeah, and we could probably spend an entire show on that. But actually, Erin, I have a question for you, and this is more just kind of a curiosity one. Have you ever submitted those ads at 3 a.m.?
I did last night at 3 a.m. I did. Is that why it got nicked?
No, well, because I was
2 a.m.
wondering if there's a difference between the daytime approval staff and the nighttime approval staff.
Well, actually, I redid them this morning, and they still nicked me. So I don't know. I really don't understand this morning why I'm getting nicked.
What type of picture did you put up there?
It's me and Lily. It's just a picture of me and Lily, like, hanging out together. So it's really like a personal picture. I wanted to get a little more personal. Because I always hear these people like, I don't know where, I want to do this, I just don't know where to start. And that's what my whole program is. I'm going to show you how to build a website. I'm going to show you, just the real basics of business to get you over that hump. And they're saying I'm trying get rich quick schemes and multi-level marketing. I'm like,
Well, the thing
honey, there's no
too is
WordPress in multi-level marketing. Go ahead, Taylor. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, because I've listened to Valerie Shootman a lot on this subject, and she's like a Facebook ads marketing expert. Maybe we could like get her as a guest on here or something for all those women out there that are testing Facebook ads like you, because it is definitely a game. But I was trying to find in my notes that I took of something because they're very specific. You have to. Facebook only allows up to 20% of the entire ad to contain copy. So sometimes
Yeah.
even that's the reason.
Yeah.
No, I know that one, and that's a pain in
And
the
there's
ass.
there's a generator where you can put in a picture and it'll tell you whether there's more than 20% copy on your picture, which is I don't know what the link is, but I can find it.
Yeah, I know I'm definitely good on my copy because I know that rule. It's just they're saying it sounds like I'm an MLM.
That's so strange. And maybe it's
Yeah.
just in the word. It's just in the wording itself. Like, yeah, maybe we could help you with that too. Like, I don't know, after the show or something, we could collaborate and see what kind of copy you have if you're up for it.
Yeah, I'll post it, but I think what I need to do different is that in the one that's approved, I list exactly what I'm going to teach you, but I didn't list that exactly in this one because it's in my lead pages. So I'm like, well, do I need to do that? But I'll try it. I'm going to do it again. I love Facebook. Facebook and Google. How many billionaire companies?
You love to hate them, hate to love them.
I know. So
Tough.
that's where I'll be another. I stayed up late last night. Didn't get anywhere, so I got to stay up late tonight. So
No, you're going to bed. Go to
my
bed.
problem is, though, this is my problem, is if I have stuff to do, I can't go to bed. So I'd rather stay late. I got a kid coming. But I'd rather stay late and just get it done so then I can sleep peacefully. It's a problem. Hi, Lily. All right, so I guess that means we're done because
Saved by the bell.
I know. But all right, so next week we'll have it set up where you can join us in our Google or Facebook group. Hold on though. And we will keep the conversation going over there, so you'll actually be able to join us and talk to us all during the week. So definitely we'll have a code for you to get in. So join us over there. And until next week, thank you so much for listening. I love this. I'm so excited we're doing this, and I can't wait till next week. So I will see you guys later.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks.